Disclaimer, yes, this video and or series is based on and inspired by the Birdman's Everything Wrong with Cinema Sins. I'll be doing my own version on anime sins. Now with that out the way, I hope you enjoy the video.
I must admit, over the years I've seen a lot of anime do crying in different ways, but this brings a new meaning to Cry Me a River. Dude's just leaking.
The water running down his face isn't just tears. If you looked closely, you'd realise it's heavily raining, so the water on his face is a mix of rainwater and his tears.
Yes, and your stalling of the simple question of what is your name and sinister grin definitely don't come across as you being a shady character, you knobhead.
But that's the entire point, to show that Dario is shady and that he himself knows that he's shady. They couldn't try and make it any more clearer.
Says this despite running towards them earlier shouting, "I don't know her, but I'll fight for her," so if he didn't do it for her sake, then it doesn't really make any sense at all.
You're forgetting the fact that he lost that fight. That's why he acted outlandish and said he didn't do it for her. Even though he did, he was obviously embarrassed by losing.
So you did still basically do it for her sake?
My previous point still stands.
That doesn't look like spit. Could he have...
3 sins for not understanding perspectives, the fact it's clearly phlegm, and just why say that?
But kicking a dog is just so f***ing annoying. For those of you who watch my videos often, you'll know there are a few things that mean more to me in this world than my wife and my animals and all animals in general.
You gave the scene 5 sins, I'll give them back to you for not understanding this scene. The dog being kicked shows that Dio's evil. Nearly all main villains harm dogs in Jojo's to show that they're evil. It's a recurring theme.
Also, how the f*** does this little cunt expect to get any money from the family after kicking their dog like 30 seconds after arriving?
Through manipulation and charisma, which is essentially Dio's entire character.
Feeding poisonous grapes to a dog?
We learned that grapes were poisonous to dogs in 1999. Jojo's Part 1 was set in the late 1800s. Jonathan wouldn't know that the grapes were poisonous.
The fact that the dog was killed like this in that horrific way gets 10 sins from me, but the fact that they didn't talk a huge amount about it or show it will get 5 sins removed, so I'll just add 5 here.
2 sins, as this is the second time you mad at an evil character for doing evil things.
Oh, so they're not trying to make it fairly realistic?
You're mad because a show that's already shown to be unrealistic and fantasy-like is like a fantasy. I don't think this show's for you.
Explaining during a battle where your powers come from cliché.
Sinning, the most known anime cliché, like it wouldn't be in this anime.
CGI.
And just how is CGI a sin?
Fireproof pants because things and reasons?
Dio wasn't walking in the fire, he was walking beside it.
Gets launched up directly into the air, but in the next shot it's clearly still far above them, but then after that it's at ground level, low enough to actually pick up their bag of money.
2 sins for you misunderstanding perspectives again.
Not sure if this really matters or not, but this queen was actually ginger. Probably doesn't matter, but the hair colour change is a sin regardless.
There wasn't a colour change, it's just in black and white due to a character's flashback.
Why not have Speedwagon do it, and then you can have your 2 strongest fighters ready to take him on? Logic.
Just because Zeppeli says it's safe inside doesn't mean it's safe. Jonathan was sent in case it wasn't safe to protect him.
Well, I can't show that on YouTube, but believe me when I say it was incredibly f***ed up.
3 sins for again sinning the evil character for being evil.
Jojo. No.
Dio said this out of respect and shock for Jonathan actually surviving the fights he went through.
Whilst most looked like an amalgamation of different animals, this one was clearly an older, ugly man mixed with a simple frisbee.
It's clear he was actually merged with some type of insect, that most likely being a snail.
Seemingly mere feet apart. However, seconds later they're now quite a distance away from each other.
5 sins for this useless sin. They address it in the next scene by calling him as swift as a leopard. How is it the anime's fault for you not listening?
That is straight up disgusting to me.
You're sinning the vampire for doing vampire things.
Don't cry. The dude was a fucking cunt to you your entire life.
Jonathan was crying because he had respect for Dio.
Fireproof pants because things and reasons?